Every now and then a product comes along and it redefines the industry standard. Whether you're a filmmaker, big, small, or a YouTuber, pretty much anybody in the video industry, this is a must. If you don't already know, this is the Hollyland Mars400s, and it's a video transmitter. And before I get into why this is so cool, let me explain for those of you that aren't too sure. You put the transmitter onto your video camera, battery, HDMI cable from the Mars400s straight into your camera. Then you plug your receiver into your director's monitor, viewing monitor, your own monitor, pretty much anything that you need a wireless monitor for, with another NPF battery. Now supposedly you've got 400 feet of travel from this setup all the way through to the monitor that will be viewed at a different location. But it doesn't stop there. You can utilize the system with just one of these. By using the HollyView app, you can connect up to 4 different devices, whether it be iOS or Android, all at the same time. And yes, that means a monitor via HDMI using the normal antenna system, if you will, and still 4 mobile devices, iPads, tablets, iOS, Android. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, you may not need these, well, you're probably wrong. There are so many different scenarios where a system like this that Hollyland offers will benefit any filmmaker, any YouTuber, any content creator across all industries. Let me run you through some examples. If you're into live streaming or you do live stream events, usually what you would do is you would connect your camera straight into a capture card, straight into your computer. With the Hollyland Mars400s, you would connect this to your capture card, to your PC. Your camera would then connect to this, meaning you'd have a wireless live stream. So whether you're a YouTuber or you're doing this for events, this is extremely useful. You can have a mobile camera going around for specific shots or whatever you need it for. And during the current COVID times, if you will, live streaming has become such an essential part, and usually live streams are done from tripods or static positions. No more. Say you're a photographer and you're on a set and you'd like an extra monitor on set just to kind of show the people that you are with what you're shooting. Very similar to how you do it in a studio. Your one Mars400s would go onto your DSLR or your mirrorless camera. The other Mars400s would go onto a monitor, even a monitor like this if it's in a studio. And people would actually be able to view your live view while you're shooting, as well as the images that you take. So photographers that are on some form of set, this is extremely useful. Now let's talk YouTubers and creators. I, for one, when I shoot in a studio for content creation, for brands, it's very difficult to go back to the screen on the camera that you're holding and play back footage and actually watch it and get the true reflection of how it's supposed to look. But if you're in a studio, you could either utilize an iPad for something like this, or a mobile device, or even a full 21-inch, 27-inch monitor. If you have a monitor in your studio, you could hook this up through the HDMI port, and when you play back or while you're actually filming, you could actually see exactly what's going on that monitor. And then you get to the obvious filmmaking side of the Mars400s, which is Mars400s on the camera and then a director's monitor. Now, a director's monitor isn't just for directors as you picture in the film industry. Director's monitors could be for clients, for people that just want to see what's going on. Now, you don't have to have a monster director's monitor, and this is where the Mars400s not only hits big-time filmmakers, but also small-time creators. So let's say you're on a set where there's not a massive budget. There's no big director's monitor, there's no place for it, but you still want to be professional in your industry. You could have your transmitter on your camera, and that stream could go over to a mobile device. You could hand your clients an iPad, or have them just download the HollyView app, and immediately just connect via Wi-Fi to your receiver. Now the cool part is, your client can watch it, and they can even watch it with audio. If you plug in headphones, you could hear the audio as transmitted by the camera. And not just that, but they can actually record within the HollyView app, and that recording saves onto that device that it's recorded on. So it doesn't affect how you are recording, and they can't do anything to interfere with what you are doing. And not only can they just record, but they can actually take a screen grab, call it a photo if you will, of the actual video. And you're able to draw on that screen grab straight from within the app. Your client can email it to you, or you could actually just save it as a note to remind you about something that you were supposed to remember during editing. It's one of those devices, if you can think it, you can do it. As for ports and buttons, both of these, transmitter and receiver, are pretty much exactly the same, except for the obvious in and out. You've got 3 selection buttons on the front, which will toggle between channels, select a channel, a simple on-off switch on the side, an HDMI out on the one, and an HDMI in on the other. The Hollyland Mars400s stands for 400 feet of range, and the S stands for SDI. So you have a SDI out and an SDI in. You then have a USB Type-C port on both transmitter and receiver. This is for updates. And then you have a DC input on both for endless power. And Hollyland does include a DC power cable in the box. And then quite obviously, it takes Sony styled NPF batteries. Now battery life will obviously vary depending on what size battery you want to add to this. So on your camera you probably want to go with something not as big, maybe a little bit smaller due to weight, especially if you're using this on a gimbal. So just a few specs. It transmits at 1080p 60 FPS. So the viewing on this is absolutely amazing. The claimed wireless range on the 2 devices is 400 feet, supposedly 120 meters. And we'll be testing that in the next video, so make sure to subscribe and switch on that notification bell. We'll also be testing the Wi-Fi range between these 2 devices. As mentioned, you can use it with the HollyView app, so we want to see how far we can push it via Wi-Fi. It comes with 5 detachable aerials. They give you 1 extra, which is very welcomed. I don't think you're really going to break these because they are extremely tough, sturdy, and decent. And that leads me to the build quality. To be honest, it's not often that you find a device like this. You'd honestly swear that Apple, DJI, and Mercedes-Benz manufactured this. The quality on this, the cold aluminium feel, the edging, the seams, everything on this has been built to pure perfection, something that you don't often find nowadays, especially in this class. Other than that, channel settings can be adjusted, and it actually allows you to choose between a reliable to performance testing. Basically what they're doing is, when you do utilize one of these, there is a little bit of latency. So pretty much you can have this in sport mode, if you will, and your latency will be extremely minimal. However, it is less reliable, or you can have it more reliable and your latency will be a little bit bigger. To be quite honest, straight out of the box, the latency is 100% acceptable and the reliability is absolutely amazing. But if you want to dial down your settings, they do have that option for you. And that's my thoughts on the Hollyland Mars400s. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and like I said, smash that notification bell, because we will be doing a range test on the claimed 400 feet, as well as seeing how far the connection will go via Wi-Fi using the HollyView app. So wherever you are in the world, have a good day, good evening, good night. Goodbye.